victog.com.
Now we are moving to a definition of living, which was given by Huxley. Julius Huxley. What does he said? He said that protoplasm is the physical basis of life. Next, are you familiar with this name? Protoplasm. Proto means primitive. Plasm means liquid. Okay. Protoplasm means primitive liquid. What is actually protoplasm? It is a crystallo-colloidal solution. Crystallo-colloidal solution. You are familiar with chemistry too. So you know this term, crystallo. You know that in a solution there are two parts, solute and solvent. Okay. If the solute is a salt, then it is a crystal. If the solute is a protein, then it is a colloid. So solvent is always a liquid, okay, a water-like substance. So crystallo-colloidal solution means the solution of protoplasm contains both salt and protein in its structure. Now, this protoplasm is the medium for all the metabolic activities in our body. Now we are going to tell about the characteristics. Okay, characteristics of living beings which help us to distinguish living from non-living beings. First character, adaptation of shape and size. Adaptation of shape. Okay, shape and size. Are you familiar with the size of a rock, stone, etc.? It may vary. This is the size of a pebble. In case of rocks, this much size. So there is a wide range of difference. Okay. So broad range of variation in the case of non-living beings. Okay. Non-living beings. Okay. Now when you consider the height of a human being or height of a cat, height of a dog, etc., there may be slight variations. Okay. Slight variation. Maybe this person may be 4 feet height and this 6 feet. So you can say that the size ranges from 4 feet to 6 feet height. Okay. So living beings, what is the peculiarity of living beings? Narrow range of variation. Okay, this is the peculiarity of living beings. Now this topic is over. I mean our first characteristic of living beings. Now we are moving to second characteristic. What is that? It is organization. You know what is organization? Yeah, you are familiar with that thing. Then what are the types of organization you are familiar? It is cellular, okay, cellular, tissue, organ system, etc. Okay, these are the types of organization you are familiar with. Now before cellular level of organization, another type of organization is very important, which is not in your NCERT textbook. That is submicroscopic molecular level. Okay, submicroscopic molecular level of organization. So this type of organization includes 4 types of molecules. That you know, proteins, nucleic acid, carbohydrate, okay. This submicroscopic molecular level is very important because it is a previous PMT question. Okay, so don't forget to learn it. Now, do you know that the word organism, okay, organism came from which word? Do you know it? Now, which characteristic we refer to? From the word, which character? Now I told about. It is about organization. Okay, organization. So word organism came from the word organization. Now our third characteristics of living beings, that is growth and development. These are important characteristics of living beings. Now, you have seen many times that sand powders to grow. Then what is the difference between the growth between non-living and living beings? See, in non-living beings, the growth is from external, that is from outside. And in case of living beings, it is very important, growth is from inside. Okay. Okay. Growth is from inside. Then what happens when growth occurs? When growth occurs, metabolism occurs, the volume of protoplasm increases, cell division, all these processes occur. Now, see, this is a very important statement in your NCERT. In case of plants, what? Growth is unlimited. That is, when you break a branch of a tree, it may recover after some time. What happens if someone breaks your hand? Okay, this is a simple example. So what in case of animals? If someone breaks our hands, it never grows. Growth is limited in case of animals. Okay, about growth we have told. Now what about development? What is development? In your NCERT, development is regarded as the sum total of growth. It is the sum total of growth. I will tell that growth with a direction is referred as development. So, growth with direction. Growth with direction is considered as development. Next characteristic. What is it? Reproduction. You know why reproduction occurs? To produce new progenies. Okay. Reproduction is a phenomena which help you to distinguish living and non-living beings. Reproduction occurs only in living beings. It occurs only in living beings. But it have exclusions too, like growth. That is, growth occurs in living and non-living beings. Same way, this reproduction occurs only in living beings. It is correct. But can you say that infertile couples are non-living beings? No. So, exclusion. Infertile couples. Then, worker bees. Infertile couples, worker bees. Okay, they too are living beings. But in them, reproduction is not seen. Now try to remember a flow chart about these worker bees. How how the reproduction in honeybees takes place. Okay, queen bee in diploid condition is a female. Okay, by parthenogenesis produces drones. And these drones produce sperms by mitosis. This is a male, okay? Drone is a male. Okay. Then fertilization takes place between these queen and drones. Now it is very interesting that the type of food they eat that distinguish a queen and a worker bee. Okay. Bees which prefer royal jelly. Okay, they prefer to be a queen. And those which eat bee bread, common bee bread, they are worker bees. And they are infertile. Okay, infertile. Note down. Except this worker bee, queen and drones are fertile. So don't get confused. Okay, now types of reproduction. Are you familiar with the types of reproduction? Yes. Vegetative, asexual, and sexual mode. Okay, in your NCERT, it is given in a complicated manner. But all these are given in your NCERT textbook. So vegetative reproduction, where it occurs? In plants. You know which are the vegetative parts of a plant? Leaves, twigs, I mean stem. Okay. Then asexual reproduction, in case of fungi. In fungi, what? Fragmentation, by fragmentation. Sexual reproduction, you know where it occurs. You are familiar with many examples in humans, in cats, in dogs, etc. And remember a very distinguishing feature of this asexual and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, what happens? No genetic variation occurs. So there is no genetic variation. But in case of sexual reproduction, okay, there is a genetic variation. Now, this in this asexual reproduction, you have to remember filamentous mode of reproduction in nostoc. Okay, nostoc. Then remember some statements in NCERT. So open your NCERT, take out page number, yes, page number, I think it's 3, page number 3. There is a statement given that about growth. Okay, increase in mass and increase in number of individuals is regarded as growth. So in your NCERT, it is given as the twin characteristics of growth. Now in page number 4, there is a these modes of reproduction are given in your textbook. Okay, so try to read it. And in budding, okay, budding, it is also a mode of reproduction which occurs in yeast. And you know about true regeneration. This occurs in planaria. So these examples are very important. Now next characteristic of living beings. So I will tell this as the key success of living beings. It is metabolism. What is metabolism? The chemical reactions which occur in our body is considered as metabolism. What happens when you take a medicine? Okay, when you fall ill. So there will be some alterations in your in the chemical reactions in your body. Okay, so medicine correct that alterations by some chemical reactions. What are the two events that are involved in metabolism? It is anabolism and catabolism. What is anabolism? Building. Okay, it is a building process. Building of chemical substances in our body. What is catabolism? It is breaking of chemical molecules. Okay, remember in anabolism, building is taking place. So what happens? Energy is conserved in this case. Energy is conserved. Now in this case, you know, energy is not conserved. Okay, it is used. Okay, this much is important in this metabolism. Then where does this reaction occurs? This reaction, both this anabolism and catabolism takes place where? In the protoplasm of the cell. I have told you previously that protoplasm is considered as the medium for all the metabolic activities. Okay. Now we are moving to the next characteristic. Homeostasis. Okay, what is this condition? Okay, homeostasis is a condition in which, okay, the organism try to maintain their stability. Okay, stable salt concentration, and stable temperature, etc. So these are referred in homeostasis. Next phenomenon. This is also a distinguishing character of living beings. Next, consciousness. So what is this consciousness? It is the ability of an organism to sense surroundings. So in consciousness, there are three things you have to learn, three events that take place. One is stimulus, second, response, third, irritability. Okay, what is stimulus? Stimulus is any change in the chemical environment. Okay, that is when you touch a hot iron box, what happens? There is a change in environment. So heat is moving through your body. So there is a change. Okay. So stimulus. Then what is the action? Okay. The action which takes place against the stimulus is considered as response. Okay. In response, what will you do? You will move your hand. And this all is considered as the irritability or sensitivity. Okay, that is this power of response. Power of response is considered as irritability. Now next process, you know, excretion. What is excretion? The process of excreting the metabolic waste out of the body is considered as excretion. Now we are going to the next characteristic. So excretion you all know, so I don't wrote it. Okay, next character, adaptation. What is adaptation? The adaptation is the ability of an organism to alter around the surroundings. Okay, to alter according to the surroundings. Okay, so we can tell it as it is the ability of an organism to alter or transform according to the surroundings. Okay, and we are moving to the next characteristic. What is it? Evolution. This adaptation leads to the evolution. Okay, evolution. There is nothing to write in this. I am simply telling you. Okay, this adaptation leads to evolution, and you know that evolution is a slow process. Okay, you have learned examples in the adaptation and evolution in class 12th NCERT textbook. Okay, when we come across that chapter, we can tell it in detail. Now next character, healing and repair. Healing and repair. Okay, what is healing and repair? Healing and repair takes place in living organism to replace the damaged cells. Okay, at last, death. Death is regarded as the full stop of life. Okay, now in this death we come across lifespan. Okay, lifespan of different organisms. It is given in the class 12th NCERT textbook, first chapter. So you can go in detail with this lifespan. Now, okay, so this is a character. Death is a character of living beings. Okay, then after death, how can you distinguish living and non-living beings? By biogeochemical cycle. Okay, this biogeochemical cycle occurs only in living beings. So you know, in appearance, after death, living beings and non-living beings are similar. Okay, no metabolism occur, no reproduction occur, no growth takes place. So it is a bit similar to non-living beings. So by biogeochemical cycle, this only takes place in living beings. After death too, we can distinguish living and non-living beings. Thank you.
We are getting.
Next monsoon season is East Asian monsoon season.
It actually contributes to the well-being of the society.
What do you mean by the word physiography? Physiography means how the first.
What is the definition of classification? See, classification is simply
DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA is ribonucleic acid. After the evaporation, the parcel of air, the parcel of moisture that becomes
വർത്തമാനകാല ക്രിയ എടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ആ നഗാരത്തിലുള്ള